Welcome back to First and Final Frames. Today, we're breaking down Invincible Season 2, Episode 5. I'll cover all the key moments and my thoughts on what this means for the future of the show. Spoiler warning, if you haven't seen the episode yet, pause this video, watch it, and come back. And if you enjoy Invincible content, don't forget to like and subscribe for more breakdowns, theories, and discussions. Alright, let's dive in. Duplicate and Multi-Paul's backstory. One of the standout moments of this episode was the emotional conversation between Duplicate and her brother, Multi-Paul. They reflect on their lives and how they feel like nothing more than tools. Their brief mention of their father adds another layer to their struggles, making their characters even more compelling. Multi-Paul's prison break. Multi-Paul's prison escape was genius. His ability to think outside the box, literally, by stacking his clones to reach the ceiling and then using their bodies to break out was brutal but brilliant. However, we can't ignore the painful reality of his power. Since he and his clones share the same sensations, he feels every painful death, making his escape all the more intense. Mark's normal life and Invincible Inc. One of my favorite moments was the breakfast scene with Mark, Eve, Oliver, and Debbie. For once, they weren't discussing superhero problems, just having a normal family moment. Mark finally wants to be independent and move in with Eve. Oliver doesn't like the idea at first, but Mark reassures him that he'll always be around. Just like in the comics, Mark and Eve need a way to afford their own place, so they start a superhero for hire business called Invincible Incorporated. Their first job? Providing security for the prison where Multi-Paul tried to escape earlier. Titan's rise and the Order's threat. Titan has fully embraced his role as a crime lord after taking down Machine Head. But things get complicated when we see that Mr. Louis, the leader of the Order, wants Multi-Paul back. Titan is ordered to free him, but the plan fails because Mark and Oliver show up. Now the Order isn't happy, and they threaten Titan's daughter, leaving him with no choice but to comply. Ray and Rex's relationship. The chemistry between Ray and Rex has been growing since the start of the season, and honestly, I really like her as a character, even though she doesn't exist in the comics, at least not as a female version. The dinner scene where Rex cooks for Ray was a nice touch. It shows how far Rex has come. He's not just the arrogant jerk we saw before. He's actually trying to be better. Oliver's growth and Mark's observation. Oliver sneaks out and makes friends for the first time. Mark tracks him down, but chooses to just watch from a distance, curious about how Oliver will react. A group of teenagers tries to start trouble, and Mark expects Oliver to go full Viltrumite mode. But instead, Oliver just messes with them and walks away. This was a relief for Mark, showing that Oliver is learning control. After receiving the threat from the Order, Titan visits Machine Head in prison. Their reunion was perfect. Machine Head's sarcasm versus Titan's attempts at reasoning. Machine Head tells Titan he has two options: bow to Mr. Louis or become dragon meat. Yep, you heard that right. Mr. Louis is a freaking dragon. Titan refuses, and his own right-hand man betrays him out of fear. A brutal fight follows, with Mr. Louis in dragon form completely dominating Titan. And then comes the full-scale prison break, with Mr. Louis leading the charge. Invincible and Eve arrive to stop him, setting up an insane battle. Invincible and Eve versus the dragon. At a fight scene, this was your classic giant monster battle. But what stood out was how well Mark and Eve worked together. Eve manages to imprison Multi-Paul, but in a twist, we see that he had another clone hidden away, escaping yet again. And while the fight against Mr. Louis' dragon form was intense, it seemed like Mark was on the losing end. Machine Head's betrayal and Louis' fate. Just when it looks like Mark is done for, Machine Head unexpectedly kills Louis' human body, which somehow kills his dragon form as well. However, in the final scene, we realize Mr. Louis isn't dead after all. Meanwhile, Machine Head takes his place as the new leader of the Order. Episode summary and what's next. This episode had everything. Mark stepping into adulthood, Oliver finding his place, Titan trying to escape the crime world Machine Head, making his ultimate power move. But most importantly, this was a calm before the storm. The next episodes will be pure chaos, and I strongly believe Conquest is coming soon. What do you think? Is Conquest about to shake up Invincible? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, like and subscribe for more. See you in the next one.